Hefner, this is the first time we've seen him not have a quality outing in relief. Glendening reaches on the air by the pitcher. The run scores. Jones advanced to second. And the Scots will go to the bullpen. We got to wait for the number to be turned towards us to make sure we know who it is throwing out there.
You know, that's you probably could credit the Forney scouts there a little bit on that, and maybe questioning whether or not Jackson can fill his position, as well as Kip, you know, who also plays a lot of first base. So they came out with 3 straight bunts and have had 3 runners reach. So that's a big third run of this inning.
By the way, the line on the starter Grant Kipp in this one, he went 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, and he walked none, struck out 5. That was the line for the starter Grant Kipp in this one for Highland Park. And they're saying this is Grayson Jones in the game, who my count was supposed to be out still a little bit longer, but now he did say when I was talking to him that it was more likely he was going to come in and pitch but not play third, at least right away from injury, so he might be okay to pitch at this point, even with the hip injury he had suffered on the very first game of district play. That is number 10, that is Grayson Jones. Earlier than scheduled, he threw that one pitch on senior night, but that was more or less just to get him an ovation.
Right. That was, yeah, a little bit for the crowd there.
So we'll see how good Grayson looks at this point. It's 3-0. The Scots have committed 4 errors now in this game. 2 in this inning. 1 in the 6th and 1 in the 4th.
These last 2 have been just on bunts. I mean, just trying to get base runners and moving base runners. They got a wheel play called here, thinking they're going to bunt again.
Henderson not showing bunt at all. Takes the pitch for a strike, 0-1. You know, if I saw the wheel play and I was the batter, I would abandon the bunt and just try and unload at one of those players crashing in, because that's sometimes the danger, is if they are swinging, you're really close to the plate.
Yeah, they're coming hard. There's no doubt about that. I wonder how much Henderson knows all the signs and how long he's been with the team enough to know the situation here. They're doing it again.
Now they're trying to run the
pickoff. Yeah.
Earlier today, when Kip was on the mound, it appeared he had picked off a Forney, a base runner. The umpire called him safe, which I think everyone in the crowd and us here in the press box thought was the incorrect call. But then later, J.D. Beverly was able to catch him stealing, so it didn't matter. But so one pickoff move has sort of been successful for Highland Park in this one.
Yeah, it really has. And I think, again, this is a bunt situation for sure. And the Scots are trying to make them think here about, with that wheel play, bringing them first and third and swinging everybody around. So we'll see if they continue to do that, and maybe let Henderson have Jackrabbits might let him have a chance to swing away here.
0-1, no one out. Runners at first and second. A run has already scored for Forney this inning, and there's a nice pitch by Jones.
Yeah, Shears stayed back, and only Cage Forrest came in from first base to try to get it. This is the kind of situation where you want it, if you can, at the batter, you want the third baseman to field the ball on the bunt, but because if he's staying back and you bunt down the first base lines, they still might have a force out over at third.
Jones from the stretch, a little bit outside, and even though 3-0 seems like an insurmountable lead when you're going up against Mason Englert in the 7th inning, the Forney pitcher who's been so stellar, you can't allow yourself to mentally give this game away just yet. You have to try and sell out to keep this at 3-0.
Right. I think this is a great outing, a great opportunity for Grayson Jones to, this is a quality, tension-packed, and we'll see if he can make a pitch. And it looks like he just did.
Perfect placement from Jones. Earns himself a strikeout, 1 down here in the 7th, and Englert will hit.
Yeah, that's a big strikeout. 2 on, nobody out, 3-0 game. I mean, you can't let him get any more. And Grayson worked that count just so well. He jumped out in front, kind of took the bunt away, and then paints the outside corner.
Englert in this game is 2 for 3, a double and a single. And he scored in the 4th inning on that Logan Baker single that busted open the scoreless game, made it 2-0 Forney. They've added 1 here in the 7th thanks to some errors by the Scots.
Ooh.
Englert has that unbelievable bat speed where he can wait so long on the ball, and when he does decide to swing through the zone, we saw that double earlier was a rocket into left field, the opposite direction. I mean, it's amazing how much speed the ball comes off of his bat the opposite way, not the side he's the pull hitter towards.
Right, yeah, and that's staying back and really being able to throw their hands at the ball and with some pop, too. I mean, that ball was hit hard, as was his double in the 1st.
That bat comes through the zone like a whistle. 1-2.
You know, the bright side of this right now, Tyler, would be really great to see Grayson Jones come in here and mow these guys down and really have an opportunity to get back in the mix, you know, with the pitching staff. And you're already getting a lot out of Grant Kipp and William Adair. It'd be really nice to see maybe this guy could be the role right here where you come in and clean up your 6th and 7th innings with a Grayson Jones. That's going to be hard to beat. That's a great pitch. Come on.
Scots can use every bullpen weapon at this point. Of course, when you get to the postseason, the idea is that hopefully Jones will be ready to go as the potential 3rd starter, or, you know, might even get himself back into the number 2 role that he began the season with.
Yeah, either way, I mean, you're going to need a 3rd pitcher somewhere along the lines, that's for sure. So
I can't remember, as this one does get away from Beverly, so runners will advance. That could be a costly.
Moves them up.
Pass ball there, but, you know, when's the last time anyone here in the UIL state championships have walked through the playoffs without needing to win a game 3 at least once or twice?
Yeah, and have a quality outing. I mean, the Scots have done that before, and that's that role that you know, Grant Howell played so well for a couple of years. And you know, it almost looks like on that last pitch that that JD thought that ball was going to break, because he really never moved outside to stop it, like there was a mix-up on their signs, but thought it might have been a breaking ball or something. But it looked like JD never even moved to the outside to try to get that ball. So unfortunately, let's see what happens. Full count, and you got first base open, so you want to make sure a good hitter like this, you don't want to groove one down the middle of the plate. So you do have a base open.
Infield drawn in, and that might help Englert out with how quick his bat speed is. Ball's been rocketing off of his bat, so you have to be very fast twitch with those fast twitch muscles.
Yeah, he's hanging in there. Got a little piece of that one. That was a good pitch by Jones, too, and a nice job by Englert to protect the plate.
First base is open with 1 out here in the 7th. Forney trying to build on a 3-0 lead. Scott's trying to shut them down. Call strike 3. That was a nice 2 or 3 second delay, and Englert's still on his way to first. He
doesn't believe it either. He doesn't believe it either. So that's a second call strike 3 in a row, and I think Englert was a little surprised at that one. But boy, that's a big pitch again. It's a strikeout nonetheless, and a big strikeout for Grayson Jones. And he struck out the only 2 batters he's faced tonight. And now he's got the shortstop, Ty Bowring, up. And, boy, this is a big out right now to give the Scots a chance in the bottom half.
Bowring 0 for 3 at the plate. Did have a great defensive play earlier in this game.
Oh, JD.
This one gets away from Beverly. The runner's not going, though.
Yeah, got a little lucky there. Got a little lucky. Again, it looked like he got crossed up on the signs. They're going to talk about it again. And well, you can tell when the catcher doesn't move, he thinks there's another pitch coming, and he just gets crossed up. So runner at second, they sometimes change, you know, from the basic 1 fastball, 2 curveball, you know, whatever they normally do, because they don't want him to relay signs to the batter. But he really looks like that's a couple of times he's gotten crossed up on Grayson, who hadn't pitched in a while, so they may be a little confused as to what the signs are too, as in a pressure-packed situation like this.
1 ball, no strikes. Jones has been stellar since entering the game. High chopper, Shearer will field it. Boatring's quick, and he beat it out. 4-0, Forney leads.
That was close too, right there. Bang bang play. A lot of speed there from the shortstop.
That is 2 times in this game a very high hop that has just sprung off the turf, allows a Jackrabbit player to scamper down the line. Hey, Jackrabbits are pretty quick animals, so you have to give it to them.
Yeah, and again, playing on this field turf here, it can be spongy at times, and it has some nice bounces if you're looking for a high hopper or something like that. Shearer did all he could, made a great throw, and just didn't have a chance to get him. So that's a big run, and now it's a 4-0 ball game here.
It's really unfortunate when Jones comes in. That was a good pitch. He got pretty much the desired result except for the hop. Just happened to be too high. I'll go down as a base hit, 7th of the game for Forney. Childress swinging away. And this is going to be one of those games I think you look back on, and this relief appearance for Grayson Jones, important for the Scots this season. To see him come out, strike out the first 2 batters, middle of the order he's going up against.
Yeah, I mean, that if there's a silver lining to this, that could be it, especially if he can come out and get this 3rd out.
Another strike from Grayson. Counts 0-2.
Go 10.
Pair of errors in this inning when Jackson Hefner started on the hill. Led to Forney scoring one of those runs, and then a base hit on the infield from Boatring. High chopper just beat out Shearer's throw from third base to make it 4-0 in the game. 2 runs in the 4th, 2 in the 7th have been all the scoring tonight. And they come all for Forney. Scots will have 3 outs in the bottom of the 7th left to play with.
Oh, nice.
3 strikeouts here in relief for Grayson Jones. Childress mystified there. And the Scots, you got to start somewhere if you want to rally, and it's going to be Cage Forrest due up first with scheduled hitters Grant Kipp and Patrick Shearer to follow here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, again, a great outing by Grayson Jones. So there is good news for that, and hopefully the Scots can rally here their last at-bats.